Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Brian Ireland. This is Tottenham on Tour. This is the reaction. Looking forward to this, guys. Obviously, we had a good performance today, and I'm going to get into it in a sec. But first, I want to talk about our sponsors, Securit VPN or Secure IT VPN. VPNs are great. Obviously, there's a lot of benefits to it when it comes to traveling. You can travel, you can watch some of your subscriptions wherever you go. Stay local, even though you're not local. With your internet connection. So it's pretty handy for that. And obviously for watching football, it's fantastic as well for as little as £5 a month, which is very affordable and very useful. So I recommend everybody get Secure VPN. And just quickly, we do have a code that you can get, and the code will give you a discount as well. So 20% off, I believe it is. SecuritVPN.com/TOTOUR. SecuritVPN.com/TOTOUR. Awesome. All right. So obviously, this is pretty exciting. We had a performance today, an actual performance to discuss. We scored some goals, which was obviously fantastic. It's been 3 games, I think, since we've actually scored a goal. So really, really nice to to actually see a performance. Team came out pretty solid, I think. Not like a massively attacking, but enough control of the game, good possession, passing the ball well. Our wingbacks, I thought, played very well. I thought Ben Davies was quite good. Pedro Porro, we'll get into him as well. But an overall team performance that I think spoke to sort of a response, I guess you would say, from the players considering the last 2 weeks has been absolutely atrocious. It's been pretty brutal around the club right now. Obviously, what was going on with Antonio Conte and his future, and whether or not he's going to be with us next season, or even for the rest of this season, for that matter. So it's been a bit of a mess, but nice performance today. Let's get into the details, the specific. Harry Kane scores his 19th goal of the season in the 19th minute. Harry Kane doing Harry Kane things here. Wonderful work from Ben Davies to recover the ball here at the top of the box. Slides, gets the ball over to Pedro Porro, and Porro puts in a beauty of a pass, a fantastic pass right to Harry Kane's head. And Harry Kane, that's his type of goal. I think he's second in league with headed goals this season, which is a wonderful stat. And it's good to see that he's performing at this level consistently despite the rest of the team. So it was a good goal from him. Good reaction from the team, and from there, it's kind of in our hands. We're controlling the ball, we're defending well. The passing's good. The wing back play was really great, really great. I think Ben Davies, unsung hero in that left wing back position, playing better than Perisic is for sure. And he's earned his place there. I'd rather see him there week in, week out. And of course, Pedro Porro comes in, and I want to talk about him a little bit. Fantastic. Really, really nice to see a fullback running at players again, and then actually having delivery. Hard for Royale. Unfortunately, gets injured, and he's going to be out of the side for a little bit. I'm not sure how long. Probably a few weeks, I think they said. And that is not going to be positive for him, but for Porro to get a run in the team, especially over these next few games. Really fantastic, and his ball in for Kane's header was fantastic. He was passing the ball, players running past him, get to the byline, putting balls in the box, and that's what the job of a wing back. That's what they're supposed to be doing, especially in this system, because you need when you're playing a 3-4-3, those wing backs are key to getting anything creative going on in the box. So it was nice to see Porro doing that, and like I said, Davies doing his part as well on that side as well. Not as much delivery from Davies, but I think he's just solid. He's just solid over there. He does get forward when he does get forward, like winning the ball back in the box to get Porro the ball and then score that first goal. Let's get to the second goal. The second goal is a Harry Kane penalty, and of course he doesn't miss from the box, or well, I guess he does, but not for Spurs. Thankfully. But yeah, awful tackle. I forget who it was, the defender from Nottingham Forest. One of the worst tackles I've seen. It's like not something you see in the Premier League. It's very Sunday League. Very late, clearly takes him out, and takes out Richarlison, who I'm going to get into, by the way, because I think Richarlison was fantastic today. Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about? And I'm going to get to that first before I get into the second goal. Richarlison's goal that should have stood. So, he's offside, apparently. And if you look at the replay and the photograph, I'm not sure where they're measuring the lines from, but it's basically on the shoulder. It looks like it's supposed to be on the shoulder. At least the Nottingham Forest player is on the shoulder. And then if you look at Richarlison, it looks like it's on his arm, but I guess it could be from the top of his shoulder, it's not clear, and it's not clear and obvious, and it's frustrating because Richarlison on the day was fantastic, and this was a great goal, it was a great finish, wonderful ball from Oliver Skip, who also had a good game. Yeah, really, really unfortunate for Richarlison because he's obviously him getting the start was big news considering what had happened, him calling out Conte during the week, and then getting the start over Kulusevski, who hasn't been very good lately, to be fair. So it was nice to see that type of substitution when it comes to starting Richarlison, who had a great game, and I'm going to get to him, but I just wanted to mention that that non-goal that should have counted. I think should have counted. If you look at the replay and the photo of it, it's kind of absurd. So Harry Kane penalty scores a penalty that was clear, obviously, like a really bad tackle. Kane just pops it basically straight, just lets the keeper make his move, and then puts it center. Easy for him. 20th goal of the season. I think this is his 6th season with Spurs that he scored 20 or more goals, which is insane. I mean, there's not much else you can say about Harry Kane. Harry Kane is Harry Kane. He's unreal. Just continues to lead the team, score the goals, play fantastic football. Some of his passing today was unreal. Just those long balls, they look easy, but when he puts them on a platter for wing backs and they just make their move up the pitch, it's very useful. We're missing that. Kane should be further up the pitch. We should have a 10 in that position who can do that, but Kane's dropping deep because he has to. So it is what it is in that scenario. Okay, so let's the first half. So overall, first half, we go into the half 2-0 up. I think again had a pretty good half, pretty solid, pretty comfortable. Forest didn't really offer much in this game. They didn't have much going forward. I think maybe in total a couple shots on goal, but the first half, Spurs looked like it wasn't going to be an issue. I was a little concerned when we get into the second half the way we came out. It was a bit soft, it was a bit light, a bit like passive, looking like as if the job was already done, which makes you worried, especially as a Spurs fan, that they might put up a challenge, get a goal, and then all of a sudden you're under the caution. You're in a scenario where you have to try to get back into the game. And we did manage it eventually. The first 5-10 minutes was a bit sketchy, but eventually we started counterattacking them like pretty heavily, and it was pretty comfortable. And of course, Heung-min Son gets another goal. He's had such a difficult season, as we all know. He's a hard watch sometimes because some of the things he used to do so easily, it looks like he's struggling to figure out how to do. However, in this case, it was a wonderful finish. In the box, very tight, gets the ball to his feet, and then nutmegs. Forget the player's name. Jonjo Shelvey nutmegs Jonjo Shelvey for the goal. Just stayed calm, placed it in the corner. Well done from Heung-min Son. Didn't have a ton to do in the game, but he was putting himself about a little bit more, and you keep seeing glimpses of what he's capable of, and of course the finish was quality. Another probably complaint about this game was the late subs. I think we didn't start. The first substitution was it was Oliver Skip at 69 minutes, and then Dyer at 71. It's frustrating one from Conte and the management is that we always wait for substitutions like that when we're 3-0. We end up 3-0 up at this point. When you're 3-0 up in that scenario, make a change. Just put on some fresh legs. Quick word about Danjuma. Is the guy ever going to play? I mean, I don't understand that loan. I think he's gotten 10 minutes in a cup game. Strange one. Sitting on the bench, Lucas Moura comes on, and Kulusevski. Who both, put themselves about. Kulusevski almost got on the board at one point. We did give up a goal in the 81st minute, which I think everybody was, probably expected to some extent with our defense. And it was a bit disappointing because, clean sheet would have been nice. And would have been fantastic. We did end up after that, Kulusevski giving up a penalty. He moved his hand toward to the body of the other player and kind of nudged the balls right over top of the line, but certainly a penalty in my eyes. Bit unfortunate that's the case because it certainly looked like they were going to get themselves in the game. And then Fraser Forster makes a save. Not a good penalty from Ayew though. It was easy for Forster at that height. He's 6'5", 6'6". He's a giant of a man, and all he had to do was just kind of fall over to the right and get his hand on it and made the save. So positive there. They did eventually get a goal, and yeah, it was a bit unfortunate. I want to talk about specifically about players, though. There's a few key players that stood out for me. Richarlison, first and foremost, especially after what had happened during the week. I thought he played very well. Should have scored a goal, the goal should have counted, and just put himself about. He has a couple of things with his first touches. One of them being problematic. Saw him do it about 3 times in this game where the ball gets to his feet and he just pushes a little too far ahead of himself and ends up losing the ball. So he needs to work on that a little bit, and it's a bit frustrating that it continues to happen. But he was all over the place, and he plays coming off the right hand side, which is not really his position. It's just like third position. He's central striker, then comes in off the left as a left-sided forward, and then when needed, he could play on that right side, and that's what he did in this game. And he put himself about. He was great. I thought Oliver Skip was fantastic. Really good ball for Richarlison in the first half on the goal that was called back. Really just putting himself about. He's a solid midfielder, starting to get a bit more creative, starting to show a little bit more vision, but just strong on the ball and solid. And I think Højbjerg was pretty solid as well. Midfield, you'd say good performance. I think they were quality. Romero doing Romero things. I mean, he didn't get a yellow card this game somehow, which was surprising considering what happened with the red card in the Champions League, but looked good as well. Keeps the defense solid and keeps us ticking when he comes out, intercepts the ball really nicely just outside of our box, and makes other teams struggle to get in behind us, which is what what he does best and what we need to stop from happening. And I mentioned Pedro Porro as well. I think he was great. I think Harry Kane obviously was fantastic. It was a good team performance. I wouldn't complain about most of it. I think there's some moments where it started to get a little sketch, but you'd expect that. It's Premier League. Team's going to come at you at some point. You're going to have to do some defending, and unfortunately, we ended up letting in a goal and not defending fully. But it was still a quality performance, and happy, as you can see from the thumbnail. I was pretty pleased about it. So it's nice to not ruin the weekend. Thanks, Spurs, for not killing us today. And we've got Southampton next weekend, which I think will be the bottom of the league at the moment, or for now anyways. The relegation fight is ridiculous down there, so who knows who's going to be in the bottom at the end of the weekend. But yeah, and Liverpool losing today 1-0 to Bournemouth, amazing result for us. So Spurs sitting 6 points above Liverpool. They got a game in hand. Southampton next for us should be comfortable, but you never know. It's never comfortable with Spurs, so we'll see what happens. But I hate that it's top 4, that we're fighting for top 4, and there's no chance for silverware. That's frustrating. We are only 3 points, I believe, behind Man U. They've got a game in hand as well. But let's strive for getting above them as well. It'd be nice to. I think we've got 12 games left now, so win 9 or 10 of them, and I think we could potentially finish third, which would be nice to see. Get above United as well, considering they're back and they're having the best season that they've had in a long time. Anyways, that's it for now. That's been the reaction. I will be back once a week when this happens, after every game. We're only playing a game a week at this point, so I'm going to do a reaction video after each game. So get in the comments. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Do all that stuff. We need the support. It's obviously helpful, and of course, Secure VPN. Make sure you hop on over there and get hooked up with those guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.